Jaguar Classic is bringing a strictly limited run of the new C-type Continuations to life in celebration of the iconic model's motorsport heritage, 70 years after it first raced to victory at the Le Mans 24 Hours. The landmark vehicle made its public debut at the prestigious Concourse of Elegance at Hampton Court Palace on Friday the 3rd of September. The C-type Continuation will be hand-built at Jaguar Classic Works in Coventry, to the specification of the 1953 Works C-types that dominated that year's Le Mans 24 Hours, scoring the C-type's second Le Mans win and continuing a run of motorsport success with the company. The team at Jaguar Classic has painstakingly researched the C-type's history for the Continuation's exacting specification, bringing Jaguar's heritage to life through modern technology and engineering expertise. This includes the use of the same authentic techniques and build methods as in period. The vision of Malcolm Sawyer, legendary Jaguar car designer, aerodynamicist, engineering prodigy and artist. The C-type originally raced from 1951 and secured victory at Le Mans first time out. Its pioneering slippery shape helped the winning drivers achieve a record-breaking average speed of 93.495 miles per hour. However, the C-type is particularly notable for the first use of disc brakes from 1952. Developed with Dunlop, combined with upgrades to the engine and suspension, they contributed to the C-types dominating the 1953 Le Mans 24 Hour, with a first and second place finish and a record-smashing average speed of over 105 miles per hour. This was the first time the race had been completed at over 100 miles per hour average. Designed, engineered and built in just 6 months, 12 Jaguar personnel arrived with a trio of C-types at the 1951 Le Mans 24 Hours, having driven from the UK in the competing cars. In its debut year in 1951, the C-type won the Le Mans 24 Hours. 3 cars entered, driven by Sterling Moss and Jack Fairman, Leslie Johnson and Clement Biandetti, and a partnership that would go on to win the race, Peter Walker and Peter Whitehead. Designed with a drilled tubular chassis frame to prioritise weight saving, the C-type represented key improvements on the XK120 all-round. Developments over time, along with the first application of disc brakes, include the use of 16-inch, 60-spoke wire wheels on the 1953 Works car to improve cooling for the brakes. Meanwhile, innovations such as using a pan hard rod for the rear suspension also improved the vehicle to hone the C-type into its ultimate 1953 configuration. A telltale clue that identifies 1953 specification models is a bonnet vent that directs air straight into the carburettors at the top of the engine bay, with the assistance of an intricately designed airbox. Just one of several unique touches on the 1953 car that will be shared with all C-type Continuations. In creating the C-type Continuation, a deep dive into the C-type's history and heritage was required to inform the way in which it should be built, its specification and its racing prowess. Before the physical development could begin, almost 2 years of data compilation was required, kicking off what would become something of a treasure hunt in the Jaguar's archives, drawings, documents and pictures to piece together how to build this iconic car in the 21st century. As well as using available original drawings and reviewing in-period parts, the team needed to consult the original engineering ledger. Copy typists were recruited to fully digitize everything the team needed to know. There were over 2,000 items listed on the original ledger. All of this information then needed to be checked by Jaguar's current team of highly skilled engineers. The culmination of all of this information meant a 3D computer-aided design model could be constructed. The first time a Jaguar Classic Continuation whole vehicle has been created in this way. It began with the major elements of the body and overall structure to provide key visuals to the engineers and ensure everything matched up to the original information that was available. Of the 53 Jaguar C-types built in the 1950s, 43 were sold to private owners, and production C-type specification was more like that of the 1951 Le Mans competing cars, limited to drum brake cars with twin SU carburetors and 200 brake horsepower. The first C-type Continuation cars would be built ahead of the racing-inspired celebration event for their owners in 2022. Each example will reflect the 1953 Le Mans winning Works team car specification, including its 3.4 litre straight six engine with triple Weber carburettors producing 220 brake horsepower, and the groundbreaking disc brakes that contributed to the record-breaking triumph at the 1953 Le Mans 24 Hours. For the 3.4 litre straight six engine, each of which takes 9 months to construct, the Weber carburetor are also meticulously refurbished to an exacting standard, while other details in the engine bay are in period, such as the Plessy hydraulic pump on the gearbox that pumps hydraulic fluid into the brakes. The attention to detail extends to elements such as a brake fluid reservoir, which on the original cars featured brackets that were designed for its application in another vehicle. For the C-type, they served no purpose. However, all continuation cars will retain this original anomaly. Similarly, 1953 specification C-types featured a different Lucas fuse box cover to previous C-types from 1951 and 1952. All continuation cars feature reconditioned original versions of the correct design that Jaguar Classic sourced, while the Lucas rear-view mirrors fitted to all C-type continuations have also been sourced as part of an exhausting treasure hunt for authentic components. At the start of this process, just one was available, but Jaguar Classic sourced enough originals to ensure every continuation features an in-period Lucas rear-view mirror to complement the 3/4 Brooklands race screen and Smith's clocks in the cockpit. The original spec clocks and gauges are illustration of the hours of craftsmanship that go into creating a C-type continuation. Not only are they faithful to the originals, but the way in which they are integrated, including the surrounding switches, is an example of the fine and delicate attention to detail that Jaguar Classic engineers employ to create the perfect example. The ignition switch on the C-type continuation also embodies this approach. The precisely re-engineered component replicates the original startup procedure with reliable and high-quality components used to ensure operation is as it should be, every single time. The task of intrinsically reproducing the rev counter ahead of the driver, including the way it revs counterclockwise, has also been carried out with the emphasis on authenticity and originality. For all C-type continuations, materials have been sourced for the interior that respect and reference the original's heritage, effortlessly and effectively blending old with new to ensure authenticity while also providing a high quality and reliable finish for owners. Hardura trim is used for the cockpit, retrimmed to a new level that wasn't found on the original C-type, but trimmed in silver to evoke the period item. The Rexine finish on the dashboard and side panels on the continuation cars is from the last roll of this type of material available, providing as authentic an ambience as possible by delivering the same type of finish from 70 years ago. The seats, finished in a choice of 8 leather hues and are complemented with racing harnesses, fitted to a newly constructed component behind the rear bulkhead to comply with FIA regulations. A Blumel steering wheel is true to the original with no roundel asphyxiated to the centre. It was omitted from the original race cars to reduce glare and reflections. However, customers can specify the iconic Jaguar badging if they desire. All C-type continuations are FIA approved with eligibility in participating historic race championships. Owners have 12 exterior colours to pick from, including suede green, cream, pastel blue and British racing green, and the opportunity to enhance the exterior to their own specification with door roundels finished in white or Old English white. The meticulous paint process takes 1 week to complete using modern water-based paint, while Jaguar badging can also be specified. If you enjoyed watching my video today, please subscribe by pressing the subscribe button below, and please have a look at some of my other videos which should be popping up on the screen right now.